Alright, so dropped the subframe fully all the way down. I wasn't gonna drop it all the way down, and then it was just like kind of a pain in the ass to get to where I needed to be. So subframe's dropped. We got the new boy here with that, as you can see, not wanting to fully go on. But yeah, now I guess the challenge is let's try to get this on all the way. Now that it's out of the car, I might be able to smack it a little bit harder than I was before. Okay, well, unfortunately, this is not going on. It just gets stuck at this point, so obviously it tapers differently for whatever reason. I don't know why it'd be different, but it seems to be different. So my plan now is to rip the rest of this gasket off so that it doesn't burn, and then I need to get a new torch piece, and I'm just gonna heat the fuck out of this. Heat the one side and then flip it like that, heat the other side, and then get something, one of these in here like so, to kind of stop it from spinning fully. And then I'll hit this like so. That'd be how we do it. Some way or another I'll stop it from moving and try to heat it up and tear it off. So that'll be the next step on this process. And then hopefully the front piece will be here by the time I get this all figured out. Dude, I got the new ones, and it does look slightly wider. Slightly. Just slightly. I don't know. It goes on. There's a slight gap though. See what I mean? It's like very minimal. But the other one just doesn't go on it at all, so. Alrighty. Well, in the last clip, the camera ended up dying like 10 seconds after I cut the video. So Eric was over, me and him were talking. We were looking at the old one, comparing it to the new one. And I mean, I haven't done any measurements, but you can visibly almost tell that the new one is bigger than the old one. And I don't know why that is. Again, it could just be the difference between Speed6 and Mazda 6. This is also off of the front rather than the rear, but this is marketed as an all-around any piece one. So if we go over here, almost too big for the front. It is too big for the front, quite too big for the front. So that answers the question. The rears and the fronts are different. These were sold as, marketed as for the front, I believe. I don't know, or maybe they're just general use. Either way, these are for the rear. I'll put the link to the thing in the description just so we know which part number it is, and we have it. Any Mazda 6, Speed6 friends. That's the thing to keep in mind. So at least I know now how to take these off. I got the front ones. I got extra shit now for the rear. Let's just get the time lapse on, and I'm gonna put this back on the car and we'll call it a video. I still haven't gotten the new front piece yet. I don't know, it'll probably be here, I would assume, next week, since Christmas happened, or is happening next week. There's just, you know, a lot of stuff happening in the mail, so it just didn't get here yet. It is what it is. We'll see you guys in a minute. Alright, so we ended up getting some parts in finally. Probably continue on the video now. I got the belt for, this is the serpentine belt, and I got the new front control arm here. Let's throw that, there's a bag over there, but whatever. We got this, and we did get the sleeves. I had a little clip where the new ones don't seem to fit. They're super wide. Shouldn't be that much play. Whereas the old one obviously fits better. These are for the front, they're smaller. And the rear one obviously is for the rear, I guess, at this point. So be careful if you do buy them on eBay. They're definitely not the same. But yeah, here we go. I didn't even check if this is passenger or driver side. I'm pretty sure they're both the same. And it just says front forward control arm on Rock Auto. So I'm just gonna send it. We got the new passenger motor mount. Get this open. And yeah, as you can see, this one's not all blown out like the other one. Does this need to come off? Or does that stay on? That might stay on. But this doesn't even move. Whereas this one is sunken in, and it's got, I don't know if that'll change once the engine gets put on it, but this one's sunken in and fucking blown out on the bottom, and just, it's crusty. Shouldn't move like that. So this is trash. This was $20. Got the top off here. What I'm gonna do is leave the screw here on this, and then we're gonna put this on the actual car, like inside of the engine bay, where it goes. That way when we put the engine in, this little top will just rest onto that, and that's all we have to worry about. And then this is the passenger side. Much nicer. Much nicer. We'll go take a look at it in a second. So, the Derpentine belt. This shit, I can't get it on. I don't know, I'm being a pussy. I probably honestly need another person here, or I need to have it in the car. Putting it in the car would probably make it a lot more difficult than just having another person here to hold the belt, because it's like just barely wants to go over. There's a little bit too much slack, and I can't hold the tensioner and pull the slack to tension the belt to push it over the thing by myself. Having trouble. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm gonna go put this back on the engine and throw on a time lapse, and we will get the suspension stuff, or the subframe, fully back together. Pretend that's on. Suspension, check. That was put together incorrectly, so bad Cork Sport. You guys did a bad job. I don't know, dude. It's whatever. The bushings were in the wrong order, which is why I was like, I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. So I had to just push the bushings out and put them in the right spot. Super easy fix. Not too big of a big deal, but I was just like retarded in myself and couldn't figure it out. Unfortunately, the driver's side motor mount, it is different than this. But looking online, it's supposed to look exactly the same. There's something going on here where you look at this, and this has like this little extended piece on it. It needs to be like right here rather than all the way out. So I don't know why This doesn't necessarily look like the one that I'm looking at online. I have to go check the number and see if they gave me the wrong one. They may have given me the, oh no, we just lost the microphone. But they may have accidentally sent me the wrong one, which is like whatever. I'm about to just go check my Rock Auto order and confirm. It shows that's the right, like when I checked Rock Auto, it shows that I ordered the one for the 2.3 and not the 2.5. I made sure because I've done that in the past. I've ordered parts for the fucking 2.5 rather than the 2.3, and it's not. I mean, it's the right. It came for the. It's for the Mazda Speed6, so it just doesn't match the picture. So I'm gonna go try to figure that out. Probably end up just returning it. I don't know what to do because the driver's side's kind of blown out, and the other website that I found that had some, they wanted a ridiculous amount of money for these aftermarket ones, and I'm like, I'm not fucking paying that much money. I don't really think they're gonna make that much of a difference. Like, I mean, maybe, but like, I also don't have, like, my goal is to make like 450, 500-ish. Like, that's what I want to do. Not with this build, right? Like, this is just like getting the car back together and base lining it. But I want to do bigger turbo, exhaust, front mount intercooler probably. And like, that would really be all. I mean, maybe some tuning to the internals, but I obviously just put the whole engine back together. So like, I'm thinking this engine, it could potentially handle it. It's just more so like the other parts that are necessary to make the power. I don't know. I don't know if it can handle it or not. Well, I have to look up some comparable builds and see what people are rocking. I would like to make the car, you know, like I said, 400 to 500-ish wheel horsepower. So I think that's a good little baseline. Not too fast, not too slow, and the general goal is to, I don't know if I'm gonna track it. It's all-wheel drive. It might be fine for tracking. It might be a little bit hard to track it, but that'd be fun. It's more front-wheel drive basis, so. But like, I just want to get into like some rally cross stuff, and obviously this isn't necessarily the platform that I would go with. I might try to get a Subaru to build into rallycross, so like I can actually participate. But it's been a minute since I've done any dirt road driving and drifting and just stupid shit that you shouldn't necessarily do. But I lived in dirt road country land, so I spent a lot of time on the dirt roads going way too fast. That's why I've had to redo the suspension on this car two times. I've ripped the ball joints multiple times from just potholes and fucking. I don't treat the car well, to be honest, but like, that's like my goal in driving would to be like rallycross. Like, drifting's cool. I want to drift. I've been doing that on Assetto. It's been fun to practice and try to learn. It's definitely hard, and I don't necessarily have the best setup that's gonna necessarily transfer over to a real car, but I don't know. It's that's the type of driving that I've always enjoyed, is rallycross. Dirt road, fucking going fast, balls to the walls, sliding at 60, 70 miles an hour. And I mean, I did it the sketchy way with cars coming towards me possibly, and just blind corner entries, just fucking send it. Hopefully we don't get T-boned. So doing it in a professional situation, I think would be pretty fucking badass. So that's kind of my goal. Obviously I don't know if this will be the car for it, right? Like, there's a lot of rules and regulations that have to be followed to like even do base rally. But like, I feel like any type of career in cars for me is at least 10 years down the road. By the time I turn 35, 40-ish, in that range, and those, the next 8 to 10 years-ish, I'll have a better setup. I mean, I'm getting there. I mean, it could happen in the next 2 years by the time I'm 30, but the way life's going now, I don't necessarily know if that's the direction that it's gonna end up going. But watching the homies go out and drift, and like, they're killing it. Like, shout out Dylan and Justin and all of the homies that I grew up with, that, we kind of lost a little bit of connection, but that's partially my fault as well. And I don't know. They inspire me to continue to work and push towards like the car goals. I feel like I'm still focused on BMX and skateboarding and like little kid shit, and I think it's time to grow up a little bit, and that's why I've navigated towards the motorcycle and this and that. I'm not saying that like BMX and skate, it makes you a fucking kid by any means, but I don't know. I feel a lot of joy doing the things that I'm doing here. So enough rambling. This is probably the last video for the year, which is why I'm kind of ending it like this. So thank you all for a wonderful year. We've made it to above the 500 subscribers mark, so like, you know, that's awesome. My goal for the next year is to hopefully, you know, boost that. I want to get to the 1K subs, and you know, that's a pretty big target, but I think if I start making shorts and pushing out the right content, it'll work out. So these tears don't fall, they crash around you, and I will see you next year. Peace.